What's up everyone, thank you for tuning into Asian Garage. Today I'm going to be talking about the exterior of my 88 Honda Accord, as well as the differences that you'll see throughout all the third generation Accord's exteriors, given from years, as well as the different trim packages they came with. I want to start this video off by saying I apologize for the slower content uploads. I know it's been a lot slower in comparison to how when this channel first started. First, I kind of want to contribute that with saying that the laptop that I was actually using to edit, as well as upload all those videos up to the YouTube channel, fortunately, I've finally seen its end of days a couple weeks ago, and that laptop's lasted me almost 10 years, and was using very obsolete operating system as well as other stuff on there. So it's actually quite a bit of a surprise that it did what it did for what it was. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, so starting from the front, working on our way back. This is the 88 through 89 front bumper. It's a lot different than the 86 and 87. I'll show you a picture of what that looks like. In fact, I might just show you in a little bit what the difference is. Mostly you'll see in the lower portion of it, as well as the bumper turn signal lights. The turn signal housings on the 88 and 89 are slightly longer than the ones on the 86 and 87. As long as I've owned this car and been on the search for aftermarket parts or just stuff that would fit on here from other make and models, I have not found one that works on the 88 through 89 front bumper at all. I mean, honestly, this is what they look like. 88 through 89, they're the clear. I think they look good for what they are already, OEM. If you guys have tried anything or know of anything, let me know. I'll see if I can find some pictures of it, or maybe send me a picture of it, see how I think about it, or see what the possibilities are, maybe in case somebody's missing one or if they broke theirs. And it's as I said, every day it just gets harder finding parts for these cars, so anything would help. So coming from that, the front lip is off a 2003 Mitsubishi Lancer, not the Lancer Evolution, not the cool one. This the base model. Found it at my local pickup part. Just seeing if I always go over there and try to see if I can find something that catches my eye as far as like a front lip or a front bumper modification, as well as other stuff goes. In the past, I've used old Volvo lips. I'll show you a picture of that. I've used Integra DA lips. Those work pretty only on 86 and 87 somewhat. I actually have it on the 87 bumper. I'll show you guys that here in a second. But yeah, I really dig this lip. I actually didn't even think about it because I just looked at the car. It wasn't too bad at the junkyard, but I just seen it and I was just like curious to see if this was connected to the main bumper of the vehicle. And as I looked behind it, I noticed that this sounds kind of weird, but it looked like it's just plastic tack welded onto it. So I actually just used my pocket knife and was able just to like break off the points to where it was on, unscrew whatever I needed to unscrew, and it just came right off. So then after that, at the time there was another Accord, third generation Accord at that yard, so I just used that front bumper and just used a comparison, and lo and behold, it fit pretty dang well. So on both sides, there's a little gap, as you can see right here, but it's nothing that I'm losing sleep over. So, okay, so there's that for the front lip. As far as the bumper modification that I did, which isn't too crazy of a modification, I just cut off the fins on the grill. No real reason to do that, which is my personal preference. I do plan on turbocharging this car one of these decades. So, I gotta make room for the intercooler eventually. So moving on from there, corner turn signal lights and running lights. The fenders, these I don't know what the name of the manufacturer is. I just got them off eBay, but these are clear turn signals, which I really dig, especially on a white car. Now, nothing wrong with the OEM amber ones that all of our cars get. Other option ones I've seen have been the JDM corners, which are getting really hard to find now, which kind of look like OEM. They still have the amber side here and then the clear side here, but it's a little bit, the whole housing is a little bit more tinted darker. I'll show you a picture here. It's kind of hard because when you Google 3G's JDM corner lights, you'll see some that look almost OEM, and then you'll see some where they're just like completely smoked. So I don't know if that's just an owner thing that they smoked it on later on or what it is or whatnot. JDM's cool, but the look isn't really, not really my thing. I really dig the clears. The clears are getting a lot harder to find. You guys might get lucky on eBay and find some, but other than that, there's that for the corner lights. Now, as the grill goes, I'm not sure exactly what year, what trim this grill comes from. I just got lucky and found it one day at my local pick apart. So this whole thing is like chrome, or just what's chrome wrapped. I'm pretty sure it's not aftermarket chrome wrap. If I'm wrong on that, somebody correct me. So yeah, only thing I did here differently was all the grill fins here I just cut off. I just like having that airflow. It's just for my preference for like looks and what works. I understand why fins exist. You know, it's gonna prevent, you know, debris from coming in. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys watching have seen some pictures of people that end up hitting roadkill and you see coyotes stuck inside their bumpers and stuff like that. So I can't see what fins could do to really stop something that big from doing any more damage than that. But as I said, I've not really been driving this car through crazy country, or I'm not really driving this car at all as much as I really want to. But yeah, just did that for just looks, my opinion, better airflow, better cooling, so on and so forth. Put this Accord badge up front. I think it looks really cool. I know from factory, you can see from behind here, here's the residue. This is a vinyl wrap, by the way. The old Honda emblem here, which every Accord I've ever owned, that I've ever inherited or bought, I have always been unlucky and none of them have ever had the badges on them. So there's my luck on that. Even my Civic, I got that Civic, none of the badges are on it at all, except I think the grill had the badge, and that thing was barely on. I digress. Oh wait, sorry, before I do that, so we'll talk about the grill. So there's this chrome model, which is the only one I've ever personally come across. The majority of the ones that I've ever seen on DXs, LXs, as well as LXIs, or sorry, not LXIs, DXs and LXs, I've always seen them have just your traditional black one piece, this whole thing one piece, and then these two parts removable, separate. And then if you guys have ever taken it off before, you know that all this is mounted to one whole unit, and then that unit, the bracket that attaches to the top of the hood, all of it can come apart in two pieces, if that makes any sense. So I've seen this is what the one I own. Before I've had this, they pretty much all come black, no paint, no chrome wrap, nothing. And then the LXI that this original car came with the hood, but it got in an accident, so that hood is just trashed. This grill it had was one piece. Now I'm not sure if that's just an LXI exclusive. I'm pretty sure it is an LXI as well as an SEI. I wouldn't doubt it. The higher end models, their grill comes one piece. So as I said, you can take this piece off. This is separate from this actual grill. Theirs is actually one whole molding. So if you guys are looking for something different for as a grill goes, there's an option for that. These headlights I got off eBay. They're pretty cool. They're H4 housings. They're nothing too bad. I've been running these for years. Now the cool thing is, I'm sure you've seen in pictures as well as videos, is this whole thing kind of like your halo or angel eye effect. The cool thing about these, I really love the angel eye look on most cars, specifically ones with like more of a round type headlight. But the one things that I found off eBay more common, you'll see like your LED running lights, and I never liked how it was a ring and you could see each individual LED. Like I never liked that. It just like short for a better word, it just looked way too ricey for me. So when I seen a picture of these, it was kind of a risk because I didn't know if it was just, you know, edited for a thumbnail to try to sell a product, but it wasn't too much money. I'll post a link on them if I can still find it, but I'll at least show you a picture of where I got them from, what it's called. So basically they're not LEDs, these are actually CFM. So it's literally one whole, almost like a neon tube of white, and I have it connected to my running light, so I can have that, and it looks super cool. I haven't found anything better than that as far as like an angel eye or halo eye or whatever headlight look goes for this vehicle, or anything that uses a I believe it's a 4x6 or 4x8 headlight housing. Sorry, headlight. So there's that. I'll move on to the hood. So this hood, all the hoods, to my knowledge, are pretty much the same. Now, this is not carbon fiber, unfortunately. I wish it was. This is actually a carbon fiber wrap that's held up for quite a while. So it looks pretty good. I mean, it's dirty, but I mean, this wrap's been on here for years. Been through everything, cold weather, hot weather, rain, snow, everything. So not too bad for 20 bucks, believe it or not. Okay, then I got these hood latches, and not a necessity. And some of you guys may be like, "Oh, well, that's ricey." And this is not real carbon fiber. It's just, yeah. So yeah, some of you guys seeing this one, oh, well, that's ricey or whatnot. But honestly, it actually does serve a purpose. When this car got in an accident, I said the whole passenger side front end got smashed, the hood got messed up, even the hood release that goes down the center back here, that thing was all jacked up, and I actually had problems unlatching the hood from that after the accident. That was a total nightmare. And honestly, I hated that thing being there. So anyway, got rid of that, decided to go with hood locks. Now these in particular, so I can post a link to these are actually my second set. Now the reason why they're my second set, and honestly I wish I didn't go with these, but because this was a daily driver at one point and I was going to a lot of places where the possibilities of somebody stealing the entire car, or if not pieces of the car, I just wanted to have, you know, some security of having these locks on it. So the reason why these are my second ones is actually the peg. If I can show you guys real quick. Did it fit in the lock? Okay. Yeah, I know it's a hack job, but I was in a rush to do it and I didn't know much about tools at the time that I wanted to. Anyway, so this little peg right here, if I can show you guys, sorry guys, right there. Little black piece right there. So I've actually had that on my first set break off. And I came to the conclusion that the reason why it broke off was because the hardware they provide with these is not efficient. Because basically when I was driving, as soon as I hit a certain speed, it would start shaking really bad. I could see it from driving. And I just thought to myself, well, almost a year driving, that's a lot of constant, continual, like, hits on that little tiny peg. So eventually it was going to give way anyway, especially through different temperature changes and so on and so forth. So I mean, I'm just making all that stuff up, but that's the only thing that made sense to me. So I wanted to make it to where when I got these second sets, I wanted to make it where it had very minimal movement. So I basically just played around with it, got a lot of different washers and other different heights and stuff like that. So I finally got it to where no matter what speed I got it, this hood is not moving whatsoever. And so far, before the car took a break and before its break right now, I drove this car almost about the same time as I had the first set, and I haven't had any problems and no signs of weakness or any signs of failure for those hood pins at all. So so far so good. Okay, so before I lose too much daylight, this is what the 86-87 bumper looks like. It's pretty haggard. It has the sorry, I got my dogs with me. This is what the DA, the 92-93 Integra lip looks like. No, I'm sorry, this is actually the first generation Integra lip I have on here. Almost a perfect fit. These are the Pathfinder turn signal. Let's actually have to grab a bulb from that, which is why it's just hanging there like that. But yeah, if you guys can see, it's a lot smaller, and then it's also the way it dips down here. Some people pretty much call it the pre-facelift bumper. So that's what that looks like. And then you have a little dip right here. But yeah, those are the two styles of bumpers. Okay, so one more thing about the hood. There actually is a company that does make, to my knowledge, a legit carbon fiber hood for our cars for under $1,000. I can't remember the exact price, but I mean, just the mere fact that it's still an option should be a good thing for you guys actually looking for a carbon fiber hood for this car. The stock hood, it's pretty heavy. Definitely not the heaviest hood I've ever had the experience with on any other cars that I've had in the past, but it's just an option. I'll find it, I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys to go check that out. Now, I'm gonna start talking about the fenders. Not really much about talking about the fenders. I'm actually gonna talk about the fender flares last, because that is literally the most asked question I've always gotten ever since I've owned these cars and put fender flares on it. I've had people always blow my phone up. Where'd you get your fender flares? Where'd you get your fender flares? And I've actually gone through, I think this is my third or fourth set, and I finally got pairs that I actually finally love and like. But I'm gonna leave that for last, so you guys don't walk up to that part and then leave this video. So yeah, as far as this rice stuff goes, the only reason why I got this quick release bumper thing, which doesn't even really make the bumper that much of a quick release. So actually, when the original bumper was damaged, I threw on the 87 bumper on here just for, you know, the sake of having a bumper. But I wanted to try something different with this car when I got it, and wanted to try out the first generation Integra bumper, which was available to me at my local pickup part. Wasn't definitely in best shape of its life when I got it, but I just wanted to see how to make it work, and I'll show you a picture of what this car used to look like with it on. And honestly, I really dig it. I really dug it. The only reason why it's not on here right now, and I'm not really too unhappy with the fact that it's not on here right now. So I actually put the old Volvo lip that I used to be on my 87 bumper on that one, painted it all up, made it look all cool. And then going to work one day, I hit a jackrabbit going to work, doing about, I don't know, I want to say somewhere between 60, 65, maybe 70. I can't really remember. Pretty much hard enough to where that lip is pretty much done. It could be fixed, but it's just not worth it to me. But yeah, whatever. Anyway, I move on. So yeah, oh sorry. So yeah, so for that, the reason why I had it there is because the way that bumper came in, it actually comes in a little bit too much towards the wheel well. So there really wasn't a good place to where I could really mount it. I had to like get just a little bit past the wheel well without the tires hitting it. So then I had to add that just for extra support, because all the mounting points from the Integra bumper is like nowhere near identical to the Accord, but you can make it work. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about my wheels, and I'm probably gonna lose some subscribers after I tell you guys what it is and my views on them. So here we go, wish me luck. So these are Rota Shakotans. These are knockoffs of a Japanese company called Hayashi Racing, and the model of the wheel is called the Hayashi Street, and which is what the Shakotan is based off of. Shakotan is a style of Busozoko. If you guys know those type of builds, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, go check that out. Some really interesting builds for that type of style. Anyway, so I've had these wheels. The wheels were probably the first aftermarket upgrade I've ever done to my Accord, more specifically my hatchback, which is the first Accord I've ever had, and then later on I transferred it onto this coupe. Now I have had BF Goodrich G-Force tires on here. Those are the first tires I've ever put on here. They were 225 45 15s. This is a 15x9 wheel with a negative 15 millimeter offset. Now, given the reference, these wheels stick out 3 inches past the OEM fender well as the rear quarter panel, roughly about 3 inches. So pretty wide tire, not that beefy of a tire with a 45 sidewall, but it worked for me for years until I had to change that. And I ran where I live. I'm not going to discuss, there's a reason why I haven't discussed exactly where I live in Arizona. That's for personal reasons of mine. So I have taken this car and I've hit some potholes, been on some dirt roads, been in places where most people wouldn't even dare even drive a car like this to, but unfortunately, living in Arizona, it doesn't really give you an option. It's either that or you park your car somewhere and you're going to be walking it for quite a while. And I didn't really want to do that at that time. So overall, I ran those. After those, I ran, forgive me, I can't remember the name of the company. It's a pretty well-known company. I ran 225 50 15, so higher sidewall, ran with those. Same thing, hit potholes, hit bumps so hard that I smashed the front of my car to crack my radiator, which I've talked before in a previous video of my Nishimoto radiator cracking. And right now, it's sitting on the newest tire, which is a barely used new tire. These Nitto Neogens, it's a 205 50 15s. And I haven't really had too much experience with this, but I'm not really too worried because honestly, it still has a 50 sidewall. It's barely stretched. Like, I'm not really for that stretched look, but I just wanted to see what a 205 would look like on a 15x9 inch wide wheel. And so far, not too bad. I'm not recommending people to do that for anything 8-inch or wider. I highly recommend 225. As I said, it's my only reason, my personal reason choice to put 205s on here. I am not telling anybody else to do that. I'm not promoting anybody else to do that. And as far as Rota goes, as far as rep goes, I'm not, nobody's paying me nothing. No one's, I'm not speaking highly of them. From my personal experience for myself with these wheels, as well as anybody else that I know that owns Rotas, whether it's Grids or Hayashi, which, yeah, right, Rota has a model wheel called Hayashi, which is pretty funny, that have driven in the same conditions, in the same area, under worse conditions than me, have not had a single issue with the wheel fracturing, cracking, being damaged beyond repair at all. That is my experience throughout the years. I know there's a lot of people, images on social media, Google, whatnot, of just broken XXRs, broken rotas, this and that. So here's my two cents on those pictures and those videos. Under like what conditions and what the heck did they hit those wheels on, and what was their tire specs, you know, during the time those wheels received that damage. I would like to know, because I'm pretty sure, I mean, you guys have seen, for you guys that have seen like Formula Drift or any other racing style motorsport out there, you guys have seen reputable $1,000, I mean, like more than what a car is worth of wheels getting broken and damaged from severe accidents. It's, you know, nothing is perfect, but yeah, you know, if there's a wheel that'll just break off just by leaving your driveway, then obviously stay away from that. But rotas, I have not personally heard of any, you know, so much to where I'm too scared of them, as well as XXRs. As I said, I know they exist out there, but my personal experience, I have not ever had an issue, nor have known anybody to have known anybody to have known anybody to ever had that issue. Okay, now for the side skirts, these are, the company's called Xenon, Xenon, Xenon side skirts. These were made specifically for our cars, more specifically for two-door. So this has been on my hatchback, and this is now on my coupe. This will not work on a four-door sedan, and I do not know if this will fit on an aero deck. I would love to see one on an aero deck. They do, however, make a side skirt specifically for the four-door sedan, and those are actually more available to find than the two-door ones, but they do come up on eBay here and there. You guys might get lucky and actually might be able to get them off from the Xenon site. Kaminari, also to my knowledge, has side skirts available for our cars. Still, I could be wrong, but last time I checked, I'm pretty sure they were still available. As well as front air dampeners, and I know that sounds weird. It's not a front lip, it's basically like for the front bumper. It basically goes over this whole entire front section. It looks pretty cool. I've known, I think, one person that has it. And yeah, these things are pretty cool. I love it. It's like, I mean, so there actually was, I was looking for other options for side skirts for our cars. A86, Torino, initial D car, out of the question. It's that car, all in all, from width-wise and length-wise, is just way too short. I actually did check out to see if a S13 240SX, more specifically the coupe version, side skirts would fit. Unfortunately, that's surprisingly too short too, lengthwise. So the only other side skirts I've heard of ever working on these cars close enough is actually the I want to say like the early 90s Thunderbird ones that you would find, and they don't look too bad. Other than that, guys, you're gonna have to go some sort of option route or get something that's long enough and then just hack it up to make it work and make it look good. But other than that, in my personal opinion, this is the best aftermarket side skirt available that was specifically made for our cars. As you can see, it's seen better days. The only issue I've ever had with this, the coupe is one thing, because I said this whole frame, behind the fender and all that stuff, got like pushed up and damaged, which is why you see all this here. This is actually like this because when I mounted everything up to the original mounting points on the actual chassis itself, first time I opened this door, it just crushed that entire fender, which is why sticker of that lovely lady's right there, and you see some bit of damage here. When I get the car repainted, I'm actually gonna see if my buddy can help me fix all that up, because finding a passenger side fender nowadays is getting really hard to do. So yeah, that's okay. So let me explain this. So you see how it's split down there. Now, when this was being put on the hatchback, I'll show you some pictures here. When this was on the hatchback, this is what you get with aftermarket. The length from where this cut portion on the bottom side of the fender, all the way back to that bottom rear quarter panel, it was not cut anywhere near perfect. So it was really hard to get. It actually was just a little bit too short. Like all the edges that it went were cupped back here, as well as back here. I mean, heck, it's still even right here. It's all flared out. So if this is the back, this back here, the quarter panel is supposed to be flat to where you would mount all your bolts to, or sorry, all your screws to, or rivet, however. Back right here, it's all flared out naturally. And pretty much this was not even long enough from the molding. So I don't know if any of you guys that's had those issues, but that's definitely an issue. But yeah, so this started cracking only thankfully on the passenger side right here on the hatchback, just a little bit. And as soon as I put it on the coupe, let's say with the frame being damaged right here, it just made it even worse. So yeah, at one point there were zip ties here. I'm probably gonna do that again. I mean, I don't really mind it. I mean, it's not like I'm just gonna go buy another side skirt, right? So, yep, moving on to the back. So this rear duckbill is actually for a S13 240SX coupe. And this is the best duckbill I have found to work for our vehicles. I know people have used E36 or E46 BMW wings. I know people have used A86 wings, but this is the best one that I have found. It fits almost perfectly with our cars. Now when you get this, you're gonna have this bottom portion here that's gonna cover up the license plate. Just cut it off for obvious reasons or not. And I am 95% sure that the rear bumper for the coupe is only meant for the coupe and it is not interchangeable with the sedans, and especially not compatible with the hatchbacks. So the cool thing about this rear bumper on the coupe is it actually has a lip. I think it's nighttime, I noticed that, but it actually has a lip that came with it, which looks really freaking cool. Sorry, I know it's like nighttime, it's kind of hard to see, but you guys can see the pictures or other videos. I'm sure you guys have seen it before. But yeah, I'm like 95% sure that the rear bumper on the coupe is not interchangeable with any other model of the 3rd generation Accord. Okay, so let's wrap this up. I'm gonna start with the front. If I jump around, I apologize again, but I'm gonna try to make this as easy as possible. So front bumper, 86 or 89, pre-facelift, post-facelift, they all work. I can't think of like anything crazy different that you would have to do to make them work. If you have the same bash bar, I'm pretty sure they'll all mount right up to it if you guys decide to keep that. I've seen people use 3rd generation Prelude front bumpers on here. I'm not too sure what work is required to make that fit. Those look pretty nice. I've never seen a 2nd generation Prelude bumper on our cars, so I'm pretty sure they work as well. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. I've used 1st generation Integra front bumpers on here, or front bumper on here, not bumpers. More specifically the 86 pre-facelift one. A little bit of work to make it work, but then again, the one I got was a little bit more thrashed than I wanted it to. So if you had one in good condition, you may not have as much issues as I did. And let's see, as far as crazy stuff goes, for a whole front end conversion, I've seen there is a person on the 3G forum that's actually done an entire CB7 front end on here. 4th generation Accord, 90 to 93 Accord, they did everything: headlights, hood, fenders, everything. I don't know what work was required for that, but I personally didn't like the look. But I mean, as far as doing something different, that guy gets an A+ in that. Fenders, Duraflex makes Z3 style, like BMW Z3 style. It's pretty much the same exact fender we got, but it's fiberglass, and on the sides there's like little vent cutouts. Some people may call it ricey. Some people may, if you guys have a practical reason for it. I mean, fiberglass is lighter. I don't know how much stronger it would be, but if it's worth your money and time, no hate here, no judgment here. If somebody offered me a pair of those for a good price, I wouldn't hesitate to get them. So there's that. Side skirts, let's just cover this. Front bumper, side skirts, and rear bumper as far as aftermarket body kits go. Xenon makes, in my opinion, the best aftermarket body kit for our cars. It's for front bumper, side skirt, rear bumper. I personally don't like the Xenon rear bumper, but that's just my opinion. Caminari would be a second choice for side skirts. They don't make like a front bumper. It's called like a front air damper or front air valiance or something weird like that. I'll put it all in the description so you guys can check that out. It's pretty much like just a whole add-on. Like, so if it was a lip, think of a lip, but it was just like a whole, it covers the entire second portion of the bumper from where that first black trim on the bumper is on down. And they have a couple different ones of that. They make side skirts and they make a rear bumper. I actually like their rear bumper better than the Xenon. Yeah, other than that, I don't know if any other side skirt options that I have personally seen that weren't custom. Where, I mean, I'm talking like hardware store custom to custom from other chassis to make work. I haven't really seen anything too crazy or too much that you guys couldn't use your own imagination to make up or whatever. But yeah, if you do, share with me in the comments below. I would love to hear about or see new stuff. Rear bumper stuff goes, compatibility from other makes and models, I have not seen it. As far as I said, as far as I know, the coupe rear bumper is the only one meant for that chassis. It won't work on a sedan as far as I know, and definitely won't work on a hatchback, and vice versa. Rear duckbill, Rocket Bunny rep for an S13 coupe duckbill wing. I've seen people use Rocket Bunny style meant for BMW E30s, E46s, AE86s, and I can't think of anything else at the moment. I said somebody did make an actual OEM duckbill for our cars. It's definitely not as big as the one I got, but it's definitely an option. Other than that, oh yeah, as far as coming back on Rocket Bunny. So if you guys have ever seen those Rocket Bunny over fenders you've seen before, I measured out one of my buddies, well actually Errol, you guys have seen his videos in that all motor H2B video. He actually also owns a S13 coupe with a Toyota, I want to say 1UZ V8 motor. Could be 2UZ, but I'm pretty sure it's a 1UZ V8 motor. Anyway, hopefully you guys will see more of that in the future. I measured out his entire car to like see, because I know like the rear duckbill fit almost perfectly on mine, so I see like, hey, what else would fit? The rear over fenders, from what I measured, should work on our cars. The only weird part about it would be, I think the wheel well is a little bit bigger on the S13, and another weird thing about it is the gas tank lid is on the passenger side on the S13, and you guys know ours is on the driver's side. So if you guys need to address that, there could be a little issue there. But if you guys want to do it, like that's something I consider doing. I'm not too sure about it yet, because that's still a lot of money, a lot of body work that I'm not really too sure I want to drop some money on right now at the moment. I'm pretty happy with how the body looks now, except for the paint. So there's that. Front lip from an S13 technically should work too. It will look kind of weird because of the mouth of the bumpers for ours is wider than the S13. So a lot of the lips or bumpers that I've seen for the S13s actually, like, they come out a little bit narrower, like just pretty much like, think about it like this. Our radiators are a little bit wider than the S13. I don't know if it's just because of front wheel drive, rear wheel drive convert, that's the whole reason. But it may look kind of funny, but who knows? That's an option if you guys want to try it out. Lips, I can't really talk too much about lips because I've seen way too many types of lips to even remember. I said I got the Mitsubishi 2003 Lancer lip on here, or it might even be part of the bumper, so I'm not too sure on that. If you guys are a junkyard C1, just like check it out. There's that. I've seen people use EF lips, EF Civic lips. I've seen people use DA Integra lips, second generation Integra, first generation Integra lips. I've seen people use BMW lips, like E30s, E46, or yeah, E30s, I believe. A86 stuff, or like I said, is way too small. You guys have to do a lot of modification to make that stuff work. I considered it before. I even considered getting a bumper, cutting it in half, measure the side points to where I need to mount on the side, and then fill in whatever's in front with like a plastic weld and then Bondo. But that was just like way too much work, especially for the price, because everything A86 is just super expensive right now. Well, it has been for quite a while. Oh, fender flares. These are 3.5-inch wide fender flares. So you guys can see here, 3.5-inch front and rear. So I don't know the name of the brand of these. These actually came from Russia, and they're probably a copy, a knockoff or something. But for the price was definitely worth the almost month wait to get these. And they're fiberglass, and they've held up quite a while, and they're definitely the best fender flares I've ever gotten. All the other ones I've ever had have cracked, flew off, broke, flimsy. No, it's just not worth my time. I do have a plan on upgrading these in the future. I'll get more into that later on when it happens. But yeah, other than that, I got these off eBay. So yeah, you're probably, at that time, it was really hard finding a fender flare this big for a good price. So you may be able to find one even bigger or the same size for cheaper that's domestic here in the US. So yeah, there you go. So before we end this video, guys, I kind of want to ask you, I want to paint this car. I came across my buddy's dad. He just got a Merlot red MX-5 Miata, and I really dig that color. And since my interior is burgundy, I was almost thinking of just like doing this entire car that color. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. or should I just stick with my original plan and just redo it the factory Arctic white? So, yeah. There we go, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments below. I'll leave all the links in the description below. And catch you in the next one.